Good morning and happy December out there, Connecticut Masonic family. I'm Eric,
And I'm Tim.
and this is the Village Idiots Fantasy Football Podcast, Connecticut's #1 fantasy football podcast for Masons, because we're the only Connecticut fantasy football podcast for Masons. Yes, I messed that up, but it's been a few weeks, so forgive me, brother.
It has been a few weeks. How you feeling, brother?
I'm
You've
feeling-
been sick. I was sick. Everybody's been sick. It's the season.
It's crazy, but it's really good to be back. Good to be back with everybody.
It's great to be back. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because obviously we're going to get into everything, but we're what? A couple more weeks in the season.
Yeah,
right?
we were at week I think 10 when we left off.
Yeah, week 10, and now so we've been gone for a couple weeks, and interestingly, there's just things we do the intro, like we've been talking about continuing this on after.
Oh yeah.
The season's over. It's like, well, after fantasy football, what are we going to talk about?
Well, whatever we want.
I guess.
I mean, we can structure things. We can get some ideas, or we can go on to what some week after communication. We can go on to what happened at communication or education that happened there. We can discuss that further. We can talk about shit that's important to us that we like. Like I've been dying to ask you if you played the new Indiana Jones video game yet that came out.
I didn't even know there was an Indiana Jones video game.
It's really freaking good.
It's that time of year where I have no time to do anything.
Yeah, I have 15 minutes here and there, and I had to try it because I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan.
What's that on Xbox?
It's on Xbox right now. It's coming to PS5 eventually, but right now.
Yeah, I'm an Xbox guy, so Xbox and Switch. So
if you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass, so you don't have to pay for it.
I just got rid of Game Pass like 6 months ago, and I've been thinking about picking it back up. I might pick it back up.
Dude, I just do the Bing rewards, and that pays for my Game Pass. Like, I just do it the daily rewards thing on Bing.
Oh, I don't know.
And it pays for the whole thing. So
pretty good deal.
Not bad.
But let's talk fantasy football.
Let's talk
fantasy football. Lots to talk about. So we are in the playoffs.
We are.
It's week 1 of the playoffs. That is going on.
Can I just tell you how miffed I am at Cooper Kupp right now? I mean, shout out Cooper Kupp. Love you, guy. You're one of the most reliable players in fantasy football. But you really screwed me over this week. You didn't even buy me dinner first. I mean, I really needed you this week to put up something. And you had 3 targets, no catches, and a big fat donut.
Big fat donut.
And I need to beat Nick. Love you, Nick.
You do need to beat Nick. You do. I mean, we should probably jump right into it. Let's bring up that bracket. Where is the league? Where's the bracket? Where are we living? That's Division 1, Division 2, recent activity. This looks completely different on the PC than it does on
it sure does.
All
right, if you go to the standings and you hit the little bracket button, it'll bring up the.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, recent activity. Here we go. Standings. Oh yeah, look at that. Right up there in the corner. Yeah, great place for that. All right. So what are we looking at? We got Justin going up against right worshipful Chris Ozog there.
And Chris Ozog, you're poised to win right now.
You are slated to win via sleeper. See how that works out.
We'll see how that works out. I mean, that the Thursday night game just screwed over a lot of people because there were no touchdowns thrown.
That was a tough one.
It really was, and then we have me versus Nick.
Yeah.
And I was slated to beat him. I was slated to have over almost 130 points, but now thanks to Cooper Kupp shotting my pants, I'm down 5 points to lose. But it's anybody's game. He's got Saquon coming up and Joe Burrow.
Saquon.
But I got some.
It's the FU New York Giants tour for Saquon Barkley. So.
But I got Jaden Daniels coming up. I got Achan. Hopefully, Sun God puts up some numbers for me today. And Mooney. So,
you know what they say: poop in one hand, wish in the other.
Right.
But that's going to be a good one. But I mean, Saquon, he is just on a tear.
Yeah, he's going against Pittsburgh today though, and their defense
is
nasty.
Their defense is nasty.
So it's going to be a great game.
We're moving on down. We got me and Larry.
Yo, that's going to be a tight game too, man.
Yeah, I mean, Larry right now is slated to win by 0.22 points.
And I think he won the last 5 weeks.
Yeah,
he went on a 5-week winning streak.
He's been on a tear.
Crazy.
He and I both, because I beat Justin last week. Thank you, Jamar Chase.
Oh,
for
yeah,
just
that
putting
was
up a
huge.
45, kid.
Woo!
Have a day. And then you got Chris Olsen and Trevor. Trevor in his first year in our fantasy league.
Don't sleep on Trevor, man.
Don't sleep on him. You know, he's done very well here. And slated to win right now, and is winning right now.
Well, he's got the stack. He's got Lamar Jackson. And
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, he did put King Henry in the flex.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you know, and then if we go down, we got the battle for last. We got a battle for last place. We got Sheamus on a bye.
Yeah, and Joe
and
Joya.
Joe Joya on a bye.
So Andrew versus Bobby Mack. Yeah, I love that. Right Worshipful just snuck in last week into the playoffs.
Just so close.
He won. Bobby lost, and it was a matter of points. They both had the same record, but Right Worshipful had more points, and that's how.
Well, like I said, this time of year, it can come down to points. It can come down to points. And then Bobby Mack versus Andrew.
Yeah,
and that's going to be interesting.
That's gonna be crazy.
So
who's gonna get the license plate holder, and more importantly, who's gonna be coming first and be the one to put the license plate holder on the car?
Well, that's what we're looking for. I think we can all agree what we're looking for is a Justin loss. So
I mean, yeah, no three-peat, man. I'm sorry.
Right Worshipful, you need to, I don't know, do something. There's nothing you can do. I mean, the die is cast at this point.
Yeah, there's no collusion going to happen on my
no collusion.
end. Wink, wink.
No collusion. Hey, I mean, you know, it is what it is. So the playoffs are shaping up to look. The playoffs are looking really good. Playoffs are looking really good.
They're looking really tight. It's gonna be a good day of football today.
You know, and it's so looking at this, we got we're this week for round 1, next week round 2, and then you got to win 2 games to be champ.
Yep.
Got to win 2 games to be champ.
It's best of 2. So I don't think it's you have to win both games, but you have to have the highest point total.
Highest point total.
Yeah.
But but there's 2 games.
Yep.
So
there's 2 games.
There's 2 games. So.
And I like it better that way because that way
Did we do that last year?
We've done that since we started the league, yeah. Because it's come down to it when you're at week 17 or week 18. If you only have one week championship, good teams are going to pull their starters.
Yeah.
So that way you have to scramble on the waiver wire to pick up some shitty people, and hopefully you can scrap together. I always thought 2 weeks at least you have a chance,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean it's
so it's shaping up to be good.
There's nobody set to win. I mean, I'm looking at the brackets right now, and there's anybody can win right now.
I mean, it is tight. It is definitely tight. I think I want to see Andrew win.
What? Yeah,
I don't want Andrew to get
you want to know what
place.
though? You want to know what Sheamus put up last week for points?
No.
He had
what
8 players on bye last week.
Oh my God.
So he was projected for 16 points. So let's see what he got.
What did he get? Who was he playing last week?
He was playing Right Worshipful. He put up 14 and a half
points.
See?
Sheamus.
Are you throwing, buddy? I mean, but you want to know what, though? We can always get a second license plate holder for Andrew if it comes down to it.
We could. I mean, respectfully.
You said that just like
why?
Matthew Berry, by the way.
Why be part of the league if you're not going to participate?
Well,
It takes 2 seconds. It takes
Right.
2 seconds. Like all you got to do, you do it while you're on the toilet. It's a toilet thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you get off the toilet, you wipe your phone down, and
you're
you
good
move
to
on
go.
with your day.
You know? But, it's, I mean, it's funny. Like you look at it, go 14 points, put up 14 points, but then you're also like, you put up 14 points.
But you know what?
Look at it a couple of different ways. I mean, guys, it's more fun when you participate.
It is.
You
But
know.
you know what? He's there. He paid his dues.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know what?
Do we have to shame anybody, or is everybody paid up?
No. Justin and Nick still haven't paid yet. And everybody else, even Joe Joya has come and had a conversation with me. So we have to shame them. Shame, guys.
Come on.
It's going to be a fun night.
$20?
40 bucks.
That's it?
$40.
I mean, I'm getting my money back because this is my year.
Obviously.
It's my year.
Obviously.
It's my year.
I don't know, man. Larry is tough, dude.
Larry is tough.
Larry is
Larry
really
is tough.
Like, let's go look at his team for a minute. We'll look at the matchup.
Yeah.
I mean,
take a look at the matchup.
He's got Chuba Hubbard versus Dallas today, which Chuba Hubbard has been going off. And it's the first game in 2 years that Carolina is set to, like, they're predicted to win. Nobody, it's crazy. He's got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I mean, and he's got the Detroit defense. And they're playing Buffalo. That's going to be tough, though.
That is going to be tough.
That's going to be tough.
I mean,
but you have Philly versus Pitt, though. That's going to be tough, too.
It is going to be tough. It is going to be tough. But, and like a moron, I forgot to swap my kicker.
Your kicker's on a bye, dude.
He's not on a bye. Oh, he is on a bye.
He is on a bye.
Wait, how is he on a... If he's on a bye, why can't I freaking swap him out?
Because did our team already play? No.
If he's on a bye, I should be able to swap him.
You should be able to swap him.
So this is why I'm confused.
What team is he on? He's a free agent.
Did he just get dropped by the Niners?
Let me see. Yeah, they let go. Yeah, that's why.
Matthew Wright let go by Kansas
the Chiefs,
City.
Yeah. All right,
on Saturday. But
guys, I'm doing a commissioner's exception because that was out of Timmy's control. So I'm gonna help him drop his kicker. I'm putting it out there now. I'm letting it out there transparency wise.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. I have the KC kicker. That's the thing. Like I have Butker,
and they haven't played yet.
He was on IR, and then looks like he got let go and picked up by the Niners.
And that's not of any. So wait. He's Butker on IR right now, or is he in your?
No, he
bench?
just came off IR.
Okay.
Like a couple of days ago.
1, 2.
And then it was just it's so weird. Yeah, I was just looking because I'm like.
Hold on, I'm not seeing Butker in your lineup, dude.
He's not. He's on my bench.
I don't see him on your bench either.
Well, he's definitely on my bench.
I see Juwan Johnson, Demarcus Robinson,
refresh
your
screen there, big guy.
Because that might be why you might need to drop a player before you can move him out.
I'll drop him. Let me see what happens if I drop him. Let me see if I can drop him.
No, let me refresh my page. Hold on.
Well, let me see if I can. I got to drop him anyway. So
yeah, you got to drop somebody. If he came off IR and you haven't dropped anybody yet.
No, I had room on the bench, but let me there we go. All right, draws. Let's see. Please confirm you want to drop this player. Okay. So I dropped him.
So we got that confirmation. You dropped Matthew Wright. Okay, cool.
Right, so now, can I add? See, it still won't let me add. So yeah, why can't I add him? This is what's driving me nuts.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You still have 6 players on your bench, though. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, even if you put him up there, you should be able to.
Oh, here.
Hold on, let me try. Let me try using my commissioner powers.
Because it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like that I can't do this. Empty.
All right. League settings, team settings.
Because I had an empty bench slot, too.
Yep. Okay. Commissioner control. Edit lineups and matchup scores. Okay. Go down to you. And again, guys, I'm doing this in real time so you can see what's going on.
They actually can't see anything because we don't share your screen.
Well, we're going through this in real time, so this is as transparent as it can be. Let me see, where are you? There you are. Okay. So let's see. Yep. All right. Nope, that didn't. That's not what I want to do. Okay. Nope. I hope I have my mouse. Hold on. I hate trackpads, man. I really do.
Yeah, that's my whole life.
So I got this cheapo Bluetooth. There we go. That's much better. All right. Add it. All right.
So weird. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'm going to get this fixed for you so you can get your kicker in, man, because it's not cool that you can't. I mean, that's really, like, who would have seen that happening, you know?
That's why you're the GOAT, Eric. That's why you're the GOAT.
Appreciate it. If I can't do it here, I will do it as soon as I get home.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because I don't have my phone on me today.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't lose your phone, man.
No, it's charging at home right now. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can do it from here, but I'll definitely do it when I get home.
It's just super weird.
It is, and it's a situation you can't predict, and there's no controls for it on the commissioner cabinet. When this happens, I don't even know why you're not able to drop it.
Well, I could drop him fine,
dropped
but
him fine.
what the system thinks is that he's on a team that already played,
which is ridiculous.
Which is great, except he's
not. No,
because he didn't play for San Francisco on Thursday.
Nope.
But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah,
I
so
gotta fix for you, no problem, bro.
So again, like good week. It's a tight matchup between me and Larry. There's a lot of tight matchups this week, and if we just look at looking at the league as it is, like you said, but let's take a look. Let's go down memory lane. Let's go back to week 13 because that would have been the last time, right? And Larry spanked me like a 6-year-old who was being naughty.
Well, you had a down game, though, too. You had 105 points.
Yeah.
He had an average game, 124. I got spanked that week, too, by Nick. See, how is it we're playing each other's playoff rival right now, too?
I know. It's crazy.
It's real crazy. I lost to Nick by exactly 2 points.
Chris Olsen outkicked his coverage there, 150 points that day.
Huge week that week. Right. Worshipful Rizio won that week.
Yep.
Almost didn't against,
Justin pulled out another win that week.
Yep. But he was playing Sheamus, so there's no,
Yeah. Well, Sheamus's team wasn't on a bye that week.
Well, not all of his players weren't on a bye.
This is very true. This is very true. And then looking at week 14, which was
our last week in the regular season.
Our last week of the regular season.
Yep. I beat Worshipful Master.
I took Justin up behind the woodshed.
Yep, you sure did. I was rooting for you. Sorry, Justin. Love you, brother, but
Chris Olsen again, outkicked his coverage there.
Then Larry had a monster game. He had 184 points that game.
That's just absolutely insane.
That's why I am afraid to go against him. Sam Darnold put up a 44 burger right there. Chuba Hubbard had 20. Jahmyr Gibbs had just under 20. Freaking Addison killed me. He outplayed Justin Jefferson that week. He almost had 40 points.
Yeah, but Sam Darnold's not gonna have a game like that again.
No,
everybody was on fire there. Because that Philly game was out of control.
It was insane.
And then you had was that the week with the Dallas game?
Which one?
Versus the Commanders?
Yes.
Was that?
I think so. Let me see, because I have Jaden Daniels on my team.
Just an absolute.
No, Commanders won a bye last week.
So it must have been the week before with that absolute. Just I don't even know what happened in Dallas.
No, last week was the one where they messed up they got the black kick, but they still lost. I don't know how that happened.
It's funny. If you lived through the 90s, like I did.
Yep, me too.
And I was in high school in the 90s.
And Emmett Smith.
Dallas was the team. Dallas, Emmett Smith, Troy Aikman,
Michael
Irvin,
Novacek.
Yeah, Novacek, Jason. What was his name?
What, the quarterback?
No, Aikman was a quarterback. Aikman, yeah, that defense was just insane.
Crazy. Those Super Bowls were fun to watch. They really were.
And that was back. That was also when the Bills would go to the Super Bowl every year. and lose on a field goal, every year. Which was terrible. You hate to see it, I guess.
You do, but then again, I didn't like their quarterback for the Bills back then.
Jim Kelly?
No, I didn't like him.
Jim Kelly wasn't bad. Jim Kelly wasn't bad. And who was coaching the Bills? That was Mark Levy. Those were the Mark Levy days. Because I remember. So was it? It must have been 89 or 90.
It was
90. Like the first time they went.
Oh, 89. First time was 89.
Because they went up against the Giants.
Yep, I remember.
And Parcells was coach of the Giants.
We had a watch party at our house. I remember my parents made Jello shots that night. I didn't have any, but I just remember them making
Let's say,
them.
What were you, like 10?
I was 9. Yeah.
When were you born?
1980.
Oh, okay. So you're younger than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, good times.
Good times, man. I'm excited and I'm nervous at the same time.
Yeah,
Man.
no. Again, it's going to be good. I mean, you know, the brackets I think are solid. You know, I think it's going to be. I mean, if I'm looking at this,
All right, prediction time. Let's do predictions.
prediction time.
Yeah, let's do predictions.
I think Justin's going to come through.
I don't know.
I think Justin's going to come through.
I don't know, man.
I know there's a big split there, but I mean, if we look at that matchup,
Let's
right?
look at the
If we
matchup.
look at the matchup,
He's got Joe Mixon versus Miami. He should have a big game. Kamara versus Washington's not going to be easy, you think. And CeeDee Lamb versus Carolina. I don't. Who knows?
I mean, here's the thing, and this again, I think there's a lot of talent here, so it can still go either way. Because of the shit game Brock Purdy had,
and Gorengo,
you know,
the running back for San Francisco.
This could be his downfall. But I mean, if we're looking at Josh Allen versus Detroit, Detroit's pass defense is really good.
Yep.
But
they don't have Hutchinson back though still.
But Josh Allen is that double threat because he can run.
Oh, he will.
And he will.
He's going to put up 60 yards.
Well, what did I see the other day? He's the only quarterback. You know, if you're talking, you know, starting to have that Hall of Fame conversation. He's the only quarterback to have a passing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a rushing touchdown
in one game. Yeah.
In one game.
Also, I don't know if we covered this the last time, but he has more rushing touchdowns than OJ when he played in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
So that's insanity.
And Brian Robinson is, he's not a sexy pick, but he produces.
He can.
Charbonnet's going to have a good game because Walker's out again or he's doubtful.
Judy.
He's
all right.
McBride is a really good tight end. He's like top 3 tight end right now.
You know, but then you got Keenan Allen down there.
Who could have a good game or he can have a shit game.
You know, and then you got the Dallas kicker. They're playing Carolina, so that's it's the.
But Dallas is also slated to lose that game.
It's the shit stain game.
Is.
Seeing that, how pissed off is everybody on the Carolina Panthers right now?
Because they
because the rumor because the rumor was that Belichick was going to go to Carolina. Turns out it's Chapel Hill.
Also, before I just read this today. Before he accepted the position, he inquired about the Jets. He called in and asked about the Jets job.
And they didn't want him?
Maybe he didn't. Maybe they didn't want to make him an offer he couldn't refuse. I mean...
Oh, my God.
But if Belichick is ringing your phone asking, hey, what can I do for your organization? What are you going to do for me if I come and coach for you? And you can't seal that deal... I mean, think of how
the New York sports scene just in general is fucking insane. The Mets pay Juan Soto the biggest contract ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Joe Joya, where were you on that one, buddy?
No, we don't want him.
No,
we don't want him.
I want him.
We don't
like
want him. We don't want him. He is Bobby Bonilla 2.0. The only difference is you're paying the money up front and you're not deferring it.
But you know what? In the playoffs against the Dodgers, he might have been a difference maker. He might have.
It's possible. Here's the problem. Okay, he can't field to save his fucking life.
No, he cannot. No, he cannot. You're right about that.
Now, thankfully, I guess if you're a Met fan, right? There's a DH in the National League now. He doesn't want a DH. He wants to play,
which is stupid because he can't play. He can hit like nobody's business.
So there's the thing. I mean, no, we've taken that term, but if we're talking about New York sports, the Yankees will be fine. Had a couple of signings. We need some pitching. We don't need power. We need people who can field.
And you need Judge to actually do work in the playoffs.
You know what? Somebody needs to get Aaron Judge with a sports psychologist.
Yeah.
Because my dude's got the yips as soon as
as soon as they're in the playoffs.
Soon as it gets crisp outside, he's like, "No, I'd rather be skiing."
Yeah.
So just get over the hump there, big dog. Jets and Giants can't fucking buy a win.
Nope.
Well, and then you got the Rangers losing to the fucking Kings last night, 5-1. 5-1 to the Kings. The fucking Kings were good in the 80s, man. They are. I mean, the 90s maybe.
No, 80s definitely.
Well, they were good in the 80s, but then remember in the early 90s. Well, no, that was the late 80s, right? When did they get Gretzky? Because Gretzky retired as a Ranger, right?
Yes.
So, because he won the Cup in '94 with the Rangers, and I think he played in '95.
So it was late 80s.
Yeah. So, I remember when Gretzky, because I remember when Gretzky left Edmonton and he went to the, did he go to the Kings?
I believe
he went
to
to the Kings.
Yeah.
And that was, oh my God, Gretzky, leaving Canada.
The only other team I would watch other than the Whalers.
And then, and then he ended up in New York and they ended up winning it all in
yeah.
'94. And then they just break my heart every year. How do you fucking lose to Florida? How the fuck does Florida? How are you good at hockey? There's a guy I work with, like, God bless him, and he's from the Northeast. It's funny how many of us are like, I work for a company. We're all over the country, right? And like so many of us are from like the East Coast. Like so, like I work with a guy who lives in Texas who's from originally from Brooklyn. A guy who's in Florida is originally from Boston. I live in Connecticut still. My boss grew up in Maryland and now he lives in Denver. But it's like, all these East Coast guys, and Jeff loves to be like, well, our Panthers. I'm like, do not talk to me. The Panthers do not need to be. They do not need to be playing hockey.
No.
Like, isn't pickleball?
Don't even
take up pickleball.
No.
If my niece is listening, I'm sorry because she hates pickleball.
Oh yeah, well I'm with her.
Well, she's a tennis player. Apparently, that's a thing.
Yeah, well, pickleball is just stupid. I don't know.
It's fucking ping pong for adults.
Exactly.
It's ping pong.
Outdoor ping pong for adults, man.
Did you not see the whole thing they built down the street?
Oh yeah, I do. I did, and then
that place is bumping, bro.
It's crazy.
That place
man.
is bumping.
Speaking of, we still gotta go do the golf.
Yeah, we gotta get some brothers together for that. Maybe we hit that up in the new year.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we'll set that up. Maybe we can do
be a good little. I was gonna do that. So I just took my team out last week for like a holiday thing, and I was gonna do the golf.
Yeah,
because like we'll go golfing, but then a couple of guys like I don't golf and I'm not gonna go, and I'm like, well, I don't want you to not go because you don't golf.
It's still fun.
So we ended up going. Doing that, the on-track karting in Wallingford.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
My buddy tells me about that. He's gone a couple times.
Dude, it was
pull me through there.
It's pricey. I think I paid like $56 for 2 races each.
That's like
I wasn't paying for it, but
it's like the place down the street here. They're the same prices. Yeah.
Well, they're Are they closed?
Which one?
The one at
in
Bob's?
Simsbury?
Yeah.
No, they shouldn't be. I thought they were open.
I don't know. So I called and it's only like $50 an hour to rent the bay.
It's crazy.
So it's like nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got 4 guys, that's what, like $15.
Yeah.
Like it's like nothing.
For an hour?
Yeah, for an hour. You bring your own clubs. I've gone to Canton a few times. The food's good.
Yeah.
Drinks are good. It's just a good time. So I think maybe
and you have games. Don't you have TVs and stuff in there? You can watch games at the same time.
Yeah, there's TVs. There's all that stuff. You're sitting in the bay. We did that the first time I went. Aaron actually rented it out for me and my friends for my birthday a couple years ago.
Awesome.
So that was the first time I did it, and then I go, I like it. My buddy didn't like it. He was like, I don't know, but he's weird. He's just weird. I don't know what to tell you. But. So I think that could be something. Maybe we bring that up in January.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a communication next week, right? It's Christmas Eve.
No, we voted that out next week.
Well, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been here anyway. I got 30 people coming to my house on Tuesday night. So.
No. Yeah, we usually go to a friend's house on Christmas Eve too.
It's weird. I just like I said, there's just so much going on. Between now and the end of the year.
It's crazy. I mean, and we don't have anything going on much before. I mean. We'll probably have a degree at some point before March, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be up to
Nick. Yeah,
to Nick and what his schedule.
Yeah.
He hopefully has the trestle board done. He should have the trestle board done.
He'll have the trestle board done. And then that'd be a perfect indoor activity to do on a Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, Saturday night, whatever it might be.
Get a couple of hours.
Get a bunch of guys together. Yeah. You bring your clubs and you have a good time.
I'll borrow Chris Olsen's. I'm not gonna break yours. I'll break his.
Yeah, feel free. I need new ones anyway.
Okay, I'll break yours. Then.
I need new irons. I just bought new woods, but I need new irons.
All right, brother. Back to football.
Back to football.
Okay, so you think Justin's gonna win this week?
I think we can't rule it out.
Okay,
right?
No,
I think we can't rule it out.
But if I'm making a choice, my money would be going on Ray Washable.
If you cook with your heart, I guess. But
exactly. All right, let's look at your game.
My game against Larry, look, I don't have a kicker right now, and he doesn't have a tight end right now, right? So
cat's out of the bag now. So,
Yeah, but I mean, who's sitting on? Well, who's sitting on his bench too?
That's the
Yeah,
truth.
he's got.
He's
So technically, if Butker again if we're going purely on the numbers.
Yep.
Okay. If you get Butker in and he puts Smart in, I'm slated to win by like a point.
Yep. But I've never even heard of Smart before. Have you?
No, he plays for the Chargers.
Yeah, I thought they had
and
Parkinson
they're,
for their
they're
tight
playing
end.
Tampa Bay, so
That's not going to be an
it's
easy
not a
game.
given one. I mean,
You got Rashad White playing. You got Pacheco, who's out and about now. Worthy. So you got a lot of riding on the Kansas City game.
I do have a lot riding on the Kansas City
And you
game. I am Kansas City heavy today.
You got Mr. Tush Push himself for your quarterback. Calvin Ridley can go either way. Cincinnati's pass defense isn't that great, so he might have a decent game.
Who's playing Cincinnati?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley. And you have Mark Andrews.
Yeah. Well, Mark Andrews is just like they're playing the Giants though.
And then you have Jamar Chase, who's just gonna light it up because this is what he does at this time of year, man.
Stud kid, just a fucking stud.
But
I love everything about it.
He's got the Detroit running back stack, which you can't. They can each get 20 points on any given week to combine.
They easily could. Who are they playing? Who are they playing this week?
Buffalo.
Buffalo's got tough run defense though.
But Montgomery catches and Gibbs isn't a bad pass catcher.
But
either.
again, if we just because Larry happens to have them on his bench, he's got the Buffalo defense on his bench, and they are only slated to put up 4 points.
Oh, it's gonna be a high scoring game, no doubt.
But same with Detroit. Like Detroit's only slated to put up 5. Right?
Yep.
I'm at least getting almost 8 out of Pittsburgh or out of the Philly D against Pitt.
I foresee like Russ throwing they're gonna get a turnover, or at least 2 turnovers. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna get to Russ a lot. I don't think they're gonna get to Russ a lot to sack him.
No.
He hasn't been sacked all that much since he came back. So they're going to put up a couple points. But again, if it's a high-scoring game, which it very well could be, I'm playing Jalen Warren in because I have to. Because I have Walker just out for me.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we're taking a look at your matchup, right, you got Jaden Daniels.
Who should have... It's going to be a tough matchup, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Jaden Daniels versus Joey Burrow, and Joey Burrow's been throwing that ball very well.
Oh, yeah. And against Tennessee, no less. So Tennessee's got a sneaky defense. He's got ETN in, which hasn't been doing all that well, and they're playing New Jersey. They're playing New Jersey.
He's playing
they're
New
playing
Jersey.
the Jets. Yeah. But I've got HM. Again, if Amon Ra can have one of his good games, I'll be happy. Not like a game he had last week, where everybody but him scored. Like, this guy Patrick, I don't even know who the hell he is. He scored twice last week. Oh, pissed me off so bad.
Hey,
oh my god,
dude, that's what
I
happens.
still won.
That's what happens. You know, you got Warren going up against Saquon.
Yeah. But again, I'm not. I'm. If I can get 10 points out of Warren, I'll be happy.
I
about that.
mean,
but Barkley getting.
a
Do
big
you think Barkley's gonna get 20
ol'
points out of Pitt?
no, I don't think
I don't
Barkley's going to
think-
get 20 points out of Pitt. But that's that. But see, that's the thing, right? Pittsburgh has to worry about Saquon. He's been tearing up the fucking league on the ground.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're concerned with Saquon, right, that means you're bringing your linebackers up. You're bringing
You're
your
stacking the
safeties
box,
up.
yeah.
Okay, you're stacking the box. That's going to get that. That's going to
But
get.
that forces Jalen to have to throw.
Yeah, it forces Jalen to have to throw.
And he's
But
not bad, but
he's not a bad. But again, if you are now run focused, it opens up the field for him to be able to throw, right? Because you now you have, but you still have to respect the pass.
Yep.
Right. And I think you're gonna see a lot of you're gonna see some deeper shots from him. You're gonna see a lot more of the mid throw.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're gonna let Saquon get into it.
But
right?
Pittsburgh safeties, they're very versatile, and
They
are.
It's.
You think they're in the midfield, but they can be back in a hot minute.
It's a great. It's a
gonna
great
be a great
defense.
game.
It's going to be a good game. So
4 o'clock, 4:25 that game.
yeah,
is,
425,
so
425.
definitely take a look at that.
Yeah.
And he's got Cole Kmet. I mean, and Shakir can have a good game. He could have a dud. Like
He could. So the game I want to take a look at.
Let's do it.
I want to take
What do
a
you
look at Chris Olsen versus Trevor.
that.
Okay, because this is This is where the rubber meets the road. You got Trevor slated to win by 6.
6, yep.
And he's up 4 right now.
Yep. And who did he play? Juwan Jennings played for Chris.
Now,
and again, that was a low-scoring game.
But here's the interesting one right at the top. You got Lamar Jackson versus the New York Giants. He's putting up a big number today. The Giants are fucking terrible.
He has Derrick Henry.
Uh-huh.
So...
But then you look at, Jared Goff playing Buffalo, and I think, are they home or are they in Buffalo?
Let me check. Let's take a look. Come on.
They're home.
They're home.
They're home.
Yep. So they're in the dome.
So they're in the dome, which is good for them because if that game's in Buffalo, Buffalo wins.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay? If that game's in Buffalo, Buffalo wins. It is cold.
It's 20 degrees out here.
In Buffalo.
It's -5 out there right now.
All right. So, but this is huge right here. Quarterback, that's going to say it all.
Yep.
The running backs are all even, and I think, you're a couple points here, you're a couple points there. Collins versus Brown, Robinson versus Dowdy. But you got.
Collins is going to have a bigger game than Brown though against Miami. He's going to have a bigger game than Brown.
Miami's been good.
No, their defense.
Their defense has been good.
But it's Nico Collins though. He's the bell cow wide receiver for Houston.
I know. And then you got Jennings versus Metcalf. Jennings already put up a 5, right? So kind of right off the bat, Chris is.
And Metcalf's playing Green Bay. Are they playing? I think they're playing at home.
They're at home in Seattle.
Home. Okay, so then they're
in
If
Seattle.
they're in Green Bay, I would say DJ might not have that great of a game, but they're home.
Ingram versus the Jets.
Ingram's out. He's on IR right now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is. So, Trevor.
If you're listening right now, man, you got to get a new tight end, man. But even with Ingram being out, he's still slated
to win. So that's again, that's going to be. Yeah, look at this. You look
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's gonna have a huge game against the Giants. There's no way they can stop him. He's gonna run all over.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
So you're right. So what would be your pick out of Chris's team or Trevor's team right now?
I think Chris is going to pull this out.
Okay.
I think Chris is going to pull this out. And I say that just because I think Lamar is going to put up a huge number.
Yep.
But I think coming down into the middle of this lineup, I think you've got some questions. Because I think Brown versus Pitt, that's going to be going to be a tight game. Again, Ingram's out. You got Derrick Henry versus the Giants. The Giants could surprise. This is another one of those things where the Giants going to focus today because the Giants tend to be good every game at one thing.
Yep.
Right. The offense is clicking and they're getting some shots downfield and they're able to complete passes. Great. They're still losing, so it's not like the Jets where they just blow.
No.
Right. The Giants have these flashes of I'm a good football team, and then like the rest of it is
who's their quarterback?
Trash.
Who's their quarterback today?
It's quarterback roulette in New York.
Hold on.
What are the chances Aaron Rodgers stays a Jet?
Oh no, if they're smart, they toss him after the season's over with because listening to him, they just completely shot the bed.
He couldn't win in Green Bay.
No,
he's done. He can't win here.
He's done.
I never understood. I never looked at Aaron Rodgers and said, "Holy shit, here's an elite quarterback." Ever in his career.
Same.
Is he competent? Absolutely. Is he better than the average NFL quarterback? Absolutely.
He's also
but he
cares about Aaron Rodgers.
He played in a league with Tom Brady,
Peyton Manning,
Drew Brees. Eli Manning, as much as I hate that mouth breather.
Mm-hmm. The mouth breathing dummy. Shout out to Eli Manning and the Manning cast.
But let me tell you, he was never that guy. He was never that electrifying quarterback that you were like, oh man, this is the best.
I would argue Favre was better than him.
I would say, yeah. Favre was better than him. And Favre, when he went to Minnesota, he was still pretty good.
Yeah, he gets.
And then by the time he made it to New York, he was why?
Yeah, exactly.
He was,
But it was that time.
It was that time.
Aaron Rodgers saw what Tom Brady did with Tampa, And he's like, I could do that.
But no, so with the exception of what's his name? Who's the receiver he brought over to the Jets?
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Nobody was like, I got to move to be with Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Right?
They brought over Aaron Lazard. They brought over, who was the other one they brought from Green Bay that was like, he's
I
close
don't
to
remember.
retirement. But they cut him this year. I mean,
you had a guy come out of retirement to play with Brady. And you know what? If he had asked Julian Edelman
He
or
probably
Wes
would have.
Welker, if they were
behind that
able to,
line,
if they were
absolutely.
able to get conditioned and play, I bet you they would have. Because Brady, love him or hate him, he's a team first guy.
Yep.
And we see it now. It's like the whole argument, LeBron versus MJ.
Yep.
Who's the GOAT? Who's the GOAT? And is LeBron more athletic than Jordan?
No.
Absolutely. No, 100%. You look physically.
Okay.
Physically, if you took LeBron James and you
Okay, so we're stacking-
LeBron James,
they're actually-
LeBron James in
okay.
his prime. So LeBron James in his prime, Michael Jordan in his prime. LeBron James is cut, dude is ripped. Like he has spent time in the gym.
Okay,
That's not to say Mike
then I would
didn't.
agree with that.
That's not to say Mike didn't, but 100%, Michael Jordan does not look like a freak athlete.
No.
Okay. Now
But then again, neither did Tom Brady at the same time.
he didn't. Tom Brady still doesn't
No,
look
he
like a
still
freak
doesn't.
athlete. He looks like a golem at this point, with the cheekbones. But and I love you, Tom. TB12 all day.
All day.
But you look at the way that Michael Jordan played and the physicality of the game, right? And arguably flip it around, right? Aaron Rodgers has it a lot less physically demanding for a quarterback
Yeah.
in this league than even when he came into the league.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? It is a lot. It is a quarterback league. They protect the quarterback, no doubt. The shots that they were taking in the early 2000s up until 2010 is when they really started to crack down. I mean, they were taking some big hits, and that was after the NFL took all those precautions in the early 2000s. Because they're like, people are getting nailed. But you're looking at that. But Michael Jordan, team guy, right? Team guy, and in basketball, unlike football, right? You play both ways, right? It's like looking at hockey. You play both ways, offense, defense. You're playing both ends of the ice or both ends of the court, whatever it is. How many times was Michael Jordan Defensive Player of the Year? I think it was two or three times he was Defensive Player
And I
of the
think
Year.
one of them was questionable. I think they said one of them was questionable.
So you look at that and you go, okay. Like, to me, at that point, it becomes it's no longer really a question because he is a team player.
Yep.
I'm doing what I need to do to make the team win. Right. LeBron James, he brought a championship to Cleveland. That's great.
He sure
didn't
did.
do it by himself.
No, but
Neither did Michael. Okay, he had Scotty. He had
Rodman?
Rodman came in a little later.
Yeah, he came in late.
He had Tony Kukoc.
Yep.
He had Al, whatever his name was, right? The dude with the glasses, right?
Yeah. With the goggles. Yeah, I remember.
So and back then you had Phil Jackson, and Phil Jackson is to me a lot like Bill Belichick, right? He's a system guy, right? I know nothing about basketball. I tried to play basketball for 3 weeks in high school.
And that was it.
I went right back to wrestling because I can't play basketball. I'm terrible at it. But even I can tell you what a triangle offense is because of Phil Jackson. And it's the same thing. Bill Belichick, systems guy. We're going to work the systems. You're going to play in the systems. And that's why somebody like, say, Rodman was able to come in and work well on the Bulls because it's a system. And the job of the coach then is to take someone like Rodman, who is a loose cannon. Does his own thing. He's in his own head and
He's
say,
a personality.
that's a great way to put it, and say, okay, that's great. We love that about you. But when you're at work, it's about the system.
Yep.
You work in the system, do that for me. We're going to win championships. You're going to love life. Bill Belichick's the same way. I don't care who you are. Randy Moss is a good example, right? Everybody said Randy Moss is washed up. Randy Moss is up in his head. Randy Moss is a dick. Randy Moss, blah, 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 blah. Randy Moss comes to New England, buys into Bill Belichick's system, hooks up with Tom Brady. Randy Moss is now a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Okay? And I don't think he is, because he was electrifying in Minnesota, no doubt.
I don't know if you heard, he's got cancer.
I did hear about that. I did hear about that.
Quick recovery. Hope you get well.
You know, but again, like looking at that, like, so it's all about systems. And
Yeah,
I'm a
and-
big believer in systems. And when
Absolutely.
you take the system out of it in a team sport, it doesn't work.
And Aaron
know.
Rodgers thought he could be the system wherever he went. You can build a team around him, and they can
That's
win.
LeBron James, right? I'll go to Miami, and I'm going to get the biggest superstars that'll come with me,
Yep.
and we're going to put a team together. And they won a championship
They
in
did.
Miami, okay? But it wasn't, you look at that and you go, domination,
Yeah.
okay? Keeping the basketball team, just because it's so freaking easy. You look at the U.S. Olympic basketball team, what was it, 92, 93?
Yep, the dream team.
When they first allowed pros to play in the Olympics.
You had Magic.
And it was MJ, it was Magic, it was Bird, it was Stockton, it was Malone, it was I think Sean Kemp was on that team.
Wasn't Mutombo there too?
No. Mutombo, very much African.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right.
You know, the king.
I
Of
love Mutombo.
The king of consent. I'm told though, Dikembe Mutombo. Apparently, the story I heard is like he would walk into a bar,
Yeah.
right? And you know he's 7 foot tall.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got
he
that.
knew.
Apparently, he would walk into a bar and be like, "Who wants to sex Mutombo?" It's like, okay, so like right there, bro, consent.
Yep.
It's very
Well,
clear.
no, that's
it's
right, you
very
know?
clear.
And it's a numbers game, you know?
It is a
It's
numbers
game.
It is a numbers game. So, but you look at that, nobody questioned
I love that
in
guy.
the 90s, early 2000s, if USA basketball was going to win a gold medal.
No. Absolutely
Now,
not.
Paris, I mean, do they have a chance? Can they do it? Blah, 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 blah. Now, make the argument, the NBA, like every other, professional sports league in America, we generate, for the most part, the most money, right?
Yep.
So the players from other countries want to come over here and play, but it's still not. It's not like we're dominated by Europeans or dominated by It's still very much an American sport. You are questioning whether the United States of America now can win the gold medal in basketball, and did we? I think we did.
But we almost
I don't
lost
know.
that first game.
I absolutely hate the Olympics now. I used to
Yeah.
love the Olympics as a kid, and now it does not excite me in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Um,
Unfortunately.
you know-
I'm excited to see flag football, though. I want to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I want to see Tyreek Hill going up against,
Yes.
Colombia.
Yep.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
I can't wait. I hope
You
he
know,
doesn't.
I'm excited because in the next Olympics. So what is it? 2026.
Six? Yeah.
Is that the next Summer Olympics? No, we just had
No,
Paris.
we just
right?
had Paris. Okay, so 26 is going to be 28.
2028 in LA.
Yep.
So it's in LA. They'll have lacrosse back.
Oh,
so
awesome.
lacrosse is back. Not so. It's lacrosse what they call sixes. So
Okay.
it's there's two kinds. There's two kinds of and men's lacrosse. We should specify because the women's lacrosse game is completely different. But there's two major forms of lacrosse in the world that get played. One is box lacrosse, right? So that's played in a rink.
Yep.
You see that a lot on TV. When I was a kid, it used to be on TV all the time, box lacrosse.
Yeah.
And then field lacrosse, which is just like your traditional collegiate lacrosse. You have the pros now. There's the PLL. They play it's very similar to the collegiate game, but the rules are different and the scoring's different. But it's very much a North American sport. A lot of people don't know this. If I were to ask you, like, what's the national sport of Canada, what would you say?
Curling?
Yeah, it's lacrosse.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. No.
Most people say hockey, but it is lacrosse. Being originally a Native
Shout out
American sport.
lacrosse Canada, man. Good for you.
So in order to make it more and really it's like the last 12 years that lacrosse has really come off the East Coast and really like from the mid-Atlantic because like when I was a kid, when I started playing, pretty much it was like from Virginia up to upstate New York,
Yep.
right? That was your lacrosse hotbed.
Yeah.
And that was, like Long Island, Syracuse, Connecticut, we had some good stuff, Rhode Island, Mass. But then, Virginia, Maryland, that was it. And then other colleges started to get into it. And Notre Dame just won a national championship. Duke's won a national championship. You go out west, like Denver, like these teams are getting huge. But internationally, it's still not a huge sport. It's growing, but it's not a huge sport. And there's always been, the internationals, But so they had to come up with a way to make lacrosse a little more accessible. So they come up with what they call sixes. So it's like you take the box game and you move it out onto the field.
Okay.
So similar to hockey, because we have, there's 10 players on a field for collegiate lacrosse at a time per side. So 20 people is a lot going on.
Wow.
The rules are crazy.
Especially that ball can go very fast.
Yeah.
with 10 people per team on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a goalie forever. That's what I do. And yeah, it's not fun. Some of those, my brother could get that ball up, in high school right around 100.
Holy shit.
And the guys in the pros, they get it easily up. I mean, even me, and I'm terrible. I can get that ball up to 65, 70, if I get my hips into it. So I'm excited for that. I mean, but getting back around to it, right?
Okay.
Systems, this is what we're talking about. So Aaron Rodgers I don't know what he was thinking.
No.
He
didn't even meet with the team for the full,
no
preseason regimen that he should have to get in sync with these guys. And like you said, it's all about Aaron Rodgers for him. And you know what? It shows.
It does.
It shows, and it's sad.
So
I hope, New York, get off your ass, get a good coach.
Do something.
Do something.
Gotta
You
do
have
something.
you have a good team, minus your quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say yeah.
Keep Devontae Adams. He's a great addition to Garrett Wilson. You got Breece Hall. You got Sauce Gardner, who can freaking wreck any play at any given moment.
Yeah.
And you got to get it together. Come on, New York needs it. And you need to bring that to New York. And you're the only one that's holding it up. So
True that.
stop making stupid decisions and listening to these players. Get a good coach, and see where it goes. I'm a New England guy. Timmy's a New England guy. And, we're years off having anybody that's going to be any team that's near contention.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, I think Drake May's shown a lot of promise this year.
Yeah, he sure has.
And I think, I hate to be like the future of the franchise guy, but yeah, he could be.
He could be.
I
We got to get the O-line shored up. I mean, that's...
I got to say it. Jerod Mayo's got to go. He doesn't have the chops to be an elite head coach in the NFL. And we're spoiled here.
We sure
okay?
we
and not
really
just
are.
not just. I was reading things. If you go back to the year 2000, I don't know if it was the Boston Herald or the New York Post or whatever, but I saw this headline from that. It was like Loserville, right?
Yep.
Patriots were in the shitter.
Oh yeah.
Bruins sucked. Red Sox sucked. Celtics sucked. Now, Celtics are coming off a championship.
Yep.
Bruins are only a couple years removed from a championship. Patriots were only a few years removed from a championship. And the Sox are only a few years removed from a championship.
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee fan and I'm a Ranger fan, so fuck the Bruins and fuck the Red Sox. But that being said, we're used to winning here in New England, and granted, Bob Kraft isn't Steve Cohen. He's not going to go out and spend a huge amount of money.
No, not at all.
And you shouldn't have to. And the NFL has very strict salary caps and things in place to avoid $700 million.
And being perfectly
contracts.
honest, he's not going to be managing the Patriots, or he's going to leave that to his kids very soon.
Probably.
I mean, he's almost 90.
So is Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones will never relinquish that ever.
Jerry Jones is.
He's taking that with him wherever he goes.
So yeah, right. Managing it from beyond the grave.
Right.
Here's my 20-year plan.
Yeah,
for
and
the
this
Dallas
is part of my
Cowboys
will.
going
You will execute, or you will see no
That's
money.
hilarious.
But I don't know. I have to disagree with you on Jerod Mayo. It's hard coming into that system and not having, and that's not his team, and coming in and trying to at least get up to speed. You got to give him at least 3 years. If after 3 years, he still can't put it together, he still can't get to 500 in terms of his win-loss percentage, he can't make to the playoffs. Granted, I'll be right there along with you saying, okay,
Well,
you got to go.
let's. I wouldn't give him 3 years. I think we see how he drafts.
That's a good point, too.
If he drafts well, okay, then we can maybe get a sense of where his head is at. But nobody, there's no coach gets to pick their whole team.
No.
So
not at all.
you play the hand you're dealt, and
unless you're Aaron Rodgers and you can pick your whole team.
But Aaron Rodgers isn't a coach, and
Exactly.
look what happened there.
Exactly.
They fired their head coach. They still suck.
Way to screw the pooch.
You know, I don't think that was Robert Saleh's fault.
Oh,
I don't
not
think
at
that
all.
was his fault at all.
Not at
I
all.
think that was a toxic locker room, and you can't get by that. Now, flip that around. It's part of the job of the head coach to calm that locker room, to get things under control. But
if he doesn't,
if the messaging coming from both, you know, your star player and ownership,
yes, if they're having meetings without you about what to do with the team, then there's going to be a huge issue.
There's a huge issue there. So, that being said, you know, we're coming to the tail end of another NFL season.
We are.
It's been a weird year. You've never had so many superstar players on IR getting injured.
So early too, man.
You know, it's so early on. I think every one of us in this league had somebody that they either had to drop outright, or, you know, I know I had two players from the same freaking team,
Butker and
Pacheco, on the IR for good. I mean, Pacheco just came off 2 weeks ago. You know, Butker was on for a couple weeks. Not, you know, I mean,
oh, he was on for a while.
Does a kicker really need to go on IR though? I mean, come on.
It's Butker, you know.
But go with Christ, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
there are tons of kickers out there. Or go get a rugby player. Who knows? You know, I mean,
this is accurate as well. So, you know, I think that being said, it's been a great week in the NFL. It's you know, we're coming up.
And just to go back to what you're saying, I'm still holding on to Rashee Rice. He's been tweeting out cryptic things. So I'm hoping he comes back. If I can last long enough in the playoffs, he will put up good things. And unfortunately, you'll probably have to sit Worthy then. But, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do,
brother.
You got to do what you got to do.
But let's go back. I think we have a couple more games to look at. Okay, so let's recap. You think Justin's going to pull it off?
I think there's a good chance that Justin can pull it off.
Yep, and I think Brother Ozog can pull this out. And you also think that Brother Olsen's going to pull it out, and I'm rooting for Trevor. So,
I think there's a good chance that Chris can pull it out. I mean,
there is.
You know, there's a good chance. Now, the one I want to see is and he's winning right now, but he's slated to lose. He's slated to lose by less than a point, and that is Andrew. I want to see Andrew beat Bobby. Bobby, I love you, but Andrew.
No, Andrew wins. He's out of contention for the license plate. He's got to lose.
That's why I want him to win.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's why I want him to win. I mean, it's just so. I mean, you look at these records, right? Like 11-3, 11-3, 9-5, 8-6, 7-7, 5-9, 4-10.
Yep.
You know, and then down here you got 10-4, 10-4, 7-7, 7-7, 4-10, 3-11, and 2-12. I really expected Sheamus to do better this week. I really did.
You know what?
Or this year, not this week, but this year.
If Sheamus is still having fun with it, and he showed up for our draft,
yeah,
that's not matters to me. I know he's had stuff going on in his personal life, so if fantasy football is one thing that he has to take a back seat on, but he still
I get it.
Paid his dues, and if he's still getting some enjoyment out of it, then I hope so. And he's going to make a window sticker for I think the winner. I think we have the template over there.
We got it up there.
So
that'll be nice.
That'll be nice. So he, nice. I think he's still in it, and if he wants to be in it, I'm welcome to have him.
Yeah, no.
Even if he's our taco,
That's fine. That's fine. Everybody needs a taco.
Everybody needs a taco.
Everybody needs a taco.
Your game, yours and Larry's game, I can't pick. Like I'm going back and forth. And yours is a true toss-up, dude.
We're pretty. We're.
But even just like. I'm talking about just matchup-wise. Like, you guys are total 50-50, like, right now. It's insane.
It is 100% insane. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day.
And you know what? I think we're going to, just not to get too off topic, but I think we're going to have another Super Bowl party this year. So maybe we can
we should
do a little Super Bowl, like, pregame cast. Maybe we can get some.
We can definitely do that.
Some people talking over here. We'll have some wings.
Yeah, we can do that. That'll be a good time. We got to, put that together. I'm taking Monday off this year. Every year I say that, but I got to remember. First thing I do because January 2nd when I get back in the office, the first thing I do is start putting in my time for the year, and it's always just Christmas. I take the last week of the year off, but yeah, this year I got to remember to take the Super Bowl, the
The
Monday
day
after the
after.
Super Bowl
It
off.
should be a holiday anyway, or move the game to Saturday night. You know, I mean, come on.
That I've never understood that. Why do you play that game on a Sunday night when you expect it to be the biggest thing ever?
Well, don't forget, Sunday night football used to be huge. Like back in the day, back in the 60s, 70s, that used to be the game of the week to watch. So I can see them trying to continue that. But now that we have a game almost every day in the week, late December, early January,
Yeah.
you know, come on, guys. You can do better. I think you get higher viewership if you put it on a Saturday night.
I mean, yeah. I mean, their viewership is fine, but you know, it could be better. Maybe.
It could be better.
I mean, everything could be better, but I think more than that, it's just the whole idea of people have to go to work on Monday. It's just a completely unproductive day. I mean, even for all of us that go to work, I mean, it's like the most called out day of work. It's you have the most people going in late. You have.
I tell my boss straight up, like, don't expect much out of me in the day after the Super Bowl.
I mean, luckily, like a lot of people's bosses are, accepting of that. They're probably watching the game as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, brother. But you know what? Good luck to you today, Larry.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. I'm hoping, Cooper Cup aside, I can pull this one out.
Well, let's see what happens. We'll see what happens.
But I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Do your thing, man.
All right, brothers. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching today. Hope you stay warm. It's freaking cold out today, man.
Very chilly.
We're gonna be here back next week, right? Yeah, so the 22nd. Yeah. We'll be back next week.
Back next week.
So yeah. So thanks everybody for listening. I'm Eric.
I'm Tim.
And you just watched the Village Idiots Fantasy Football Podcast, the #1 Masonic Fantasy Football podcast in Connecticut, because we are Connecticut's only Masonic Fantasy Football podcast. Be good, take care, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great one.
Take care.